Hello friends, my name is Animesh Tayal. Today we will discuss phases of compiler. This topic contains all the information regarding the phases, input of the phases, output of the phases, and we will explain all the phases with examples. So let's begin phases of compiler. Now I am showing you the block diagram of compiler. As we discussed earlier, total number of phases in compiler are 6. So one by one we will discuss. Number one, lexical analysis. Number two, syntax analysis. Number three, semantic analysis. Number four, intermediate code generation. Number five, intermediate code optimization. And last one is object code generation. So all the phases are connected serially so that output of one phase will be the input of next phase. So this is a pattern of compiler. And one more important thing is, in multipass compiler generally compiler have two pass 1 and pass 2. First three phases and last three phases. It is a debatable issue. Someone show the first five phases in pass 1, only last phase is pass 2, and someone divided into three phases. First three phases is pass 1 and last three phases is pass 2. So it's our understanding. First three phases, that means lexical, syntax and semantic analysis. These are user dependent, means language dependent phases, also called front end. So this pass is called pass 1, or you can say analysis pass. So generally compiler is divided into two passes, analysis pass and another one is synthesis pass. Synthesis pass, where the information is available error free, and then we are starting the actual conversion. So first phase of conversion is to generate the source code into the intermediate codes, then optimization of intermediate code, and then last object code generation. So this pass is called synthesis pass, also pass 2. And in terms of front end and back end, compiler have front end means pass 1 and back end means pass 2. Front end means pass 1 means front end is user dependent, language dependent, and back end means machine dependent pass. Here, next is, there are also two functionality attached with the phases, all the phases of compilers, that is symbol table management and error handler. Symbol table will play the role for each compiler as a data structure, means all the information regarding the phases is stored in the symbol table. We can fetch and store, means phases can fetch and store all the information in symbol table. Another is error handler. Error handler will also connected with the each phases of compiler. So next is, what is the input of lexical analyzer? Lexical analyzer is the first phase, and the input of lexical analyzer is directly the source code, means high level language. In this example, just we are giving the example of C language. Void main int a b c is equal to a plus b, and so on, etc. So this type of language, which is human understandable language, is called source code, that is high level language. And the output is object code, which is machine dependent, machine understandable. We can say machine understandable. Machine understandable is generally binary language 0 and 1, but in between there is a assembler. So output of any compiler will be the assembly codes. Assembly codes means low level language. Here, next is, we will discuss all the phases with input and output with using some example. So next is, input and output of each phases. So these are the 6 phases of compiler. Input of first phase, that is lexical analyzer, is source code. We are considering here an example: d is equal to a plus b star c semicolon. So we will convert this particular statement into the object code using various phases. So output of first phase, that is lexical analyzer, is tokens, and these token will be the input of syntax analyzer. So what is token? According to the given example, if we are converting the complete statement into tokens, so we are collecting the various tokens, like D will be the identifier. We are giving the name is ID4. Equal to is assignment operator. A is identifier 1, ID1. Plus is op, means operator. B is ID2. Star is operator. C is ID3. And semicolon is end marker. Every statement should be end with end marker. So always the uh, last token will be the end marker. So these group of tokens will be the input of syntax analyzer, and syntax analyzer will check whether the tokens are grouped properly or not, means whether they are grouped according to syntax. And for this purpose, syntax analyzer will always apply context free grammar to the tokens. So after applying the context free grammar, it will generate some parse tree using either top down approach or bottom up approach, and that will be the input of semantic analysis phase. So how the tokens will be generated and how the tree will be generated, parse tree will be generated, just see that it is a tree structure in which first statement d is equal to a plus b into c is a statement. So the first root node is the statement. The statement drives to 3 different child node. ID4 is equal to an expression. Expression is further divided into sub expression a identifier plus expression, and the last expression is b star c. So it is a tree structure. You can see here all the leaf nodes of that tree will be the sequence of tokens. That means sequence of tokens, group of tokens should be matched with the sequence of leaf node also. If it is matched, then the sequence of token is error free, means they are grouped properly, means they are correctly organized as a syntax of the grammar, syntax of the language. So it is an input of semantic analysis. Semantic analysis parse will generate the, or you can say, you can convert the parse tree into semantic parse tree. What is the semantic parse tree? Just meaningful parse tree. It will check types of the operands, or if any operands or numeric value will not match the exactly the type of the another operands, it can perform typecasting. So it is not explored here. Just output will be the same of semantic analysis. Also tree structure means input is parse tree, output is also parse tree, but it is semantically correct. The next phase is intermediate code generation. Input of intermediate code generation is parse tree and output is intermediate code. There are various intermediate codes, but we are taking here only 3 address code. And after 3 address code generation, it will be passed to the intermediate code optimization. So it is very easy example. D is equal to a plus b star c. You can see how many operations in the statements are performed. First operation is star. another operation is, second operation is addition, and third one is assignment. So according to operation sequence, intermediate code will convert it into three address code. Like first is B star C. B star C will multiplicate the value of B and C and stored in some register that is called T1, temporary registers. So intermediate code will create some temporary registers to store temporary calculations. So T1 is equal to B into C. Next temporary is T2. T2 is equal to A plus T1, means second operation. Second operation is addition. A will be added by the first temporary value, that is T1. And after that, a permanent register, that is D, will be assigned to the T2. Or you can say the value of T2 will be assigned to the permanent register D. So these are the three address code of the given statement D is equal to A plus B star C. Next phase, intermediate code optimization. In intermediate code optimization, it will provide optimized intermediate code. But in this example, we cannot explain the optimization, because in these three codes, there is no need of any kind of optimization. It's a very little example. So we'll discuss in each phase. When we will discuss each phase, I will explore this thing also. Last is code generation phase. Code generation phase means object code generation phase will return the exactly assembly language. So that is called low level language. Meaningful representation is also done. First is there is an instruction set of some processor. So move command, first move B comma R0. R0 means general purpose registers of any machine. Then move C comma R1. Then multiplication R0 star R1. Then addition A comma R1. And then last finally move R1 comma D. We are considering in this instruction set, first is source and second address is destination. So move B comma R0 means B is source and the value of B will be stored in R0, that is destination. Similarly, in last instruction, move R1 comma D, the value of R1 will be stored finally the permanent register, that is D. So this is all about the input and output of each phase. I think you will understand all the things, all the inputs and output of each phase. Now we will discuss each phase and the functionality of that phase, important points of that phase with detailed examples in the next video. Thank you very much.